In the kitchen with Richie Cuco, Food and Beverage Director from Atlantic Shores Co-op. And this morning we're making quite a meal, but first, you were pretty upset by this pia thing, huh? I mean, not to put you on the spot there.
I think I was like the rest of the country. I was shocked.
We were like, oh, yeah, I know. In any case, we've got a lot to do in the kitchen, so I know we've got to get moving. We are making a couple of dishes here today, and you've got some great ingredients. So first, let's start with the crab cakes.
Okay.
What kinds of ingredients do we need for this first?
What we have is mayonnaise. We're going to add that into our bowl.
And what exactly is the dish? Because, I mean, the name sometimes kind of implies the complexity, and you've got a great name for this one. It's got a lot of steps.
It's a salmon crab Napoleon. It's just layers repeated with salmon crab, and then we finish it with a tarragon tomato butter.
Very, very nice. So let's start with the crab mixture, and then I know we wanted to start on the quinoa, which is also part of this dish because we need to give that time to cook. Is that lemon juice?
It's lemon juice, egg, Worcestershire, some hot sauce, parsley.
Okay, nice fresh ingredients.
Obey. And you're really just you're gonna combine all these ingredients.
Okay. Here, well, let me get to work on that, if that's okay with you, and then I'll have you start on our quinoa, because again, that will take more time. For folks who aren't familiar with quinoa, why do you like to use it? And it seems like more of a healthier alternative, just from what we've heard.
It's a great alternative to rice or couscous. It's very high in protein. It has 8 essential amino acids. So if you're really looking to maybe cut meat out of your diet, it's really kind of picked up in popularity, I would say, over the last year. I thought it would be great to showcase it today, to just show viewers that, not to be intimidated to actually make it.
And you're making it in a different way than I would have thought. Like I would have put water and boiled it or whatever, but what did you do with that?
We're going to get there. I like to toast it a little bit.
Oh, I see.
It is a seed, so it will burn very fast, but it's also good to get it to toast to release the nutty flavor that it has.
Gotcha, but you have to watch it so it doesn't burn. Is that olive oil that you have in the bottom?
I put a little olive oil in and the quinoa.
Okay.
So I'm going to let that toast a little bit.
That's a neat process. Now, you said that we are going to put it in water and boil it like you normally do normal rice?
Once we start to boil it, we're going to add some vegetables to it, saute it. We'll finish it with some chicken stock, and we're just going to let it simmer.
Oh, so kind of like a risotto.
Yes.
Oh.
But you definitely have to babysit it just like a risotto.
Oh, really?
You want to keep a close eye on it.
Would you do it all in the same pot?
Yes.
Everything all kind of happens there. Okay, so you're working on that. How am I doing here?
You're doing great.
I think we're going to do that, but it's all right. So I stirred it all up, and then what kind of crab meat do you have there?
We have lump crab meat, and we're going to just add the crab meat to the mixture.
Oh, I'm going to move this up, right? Because you don't want to. You don't want to break it up.
We don't want to use that.
Okay.
And we're going to just kind of gently toss it in the egg mixture, which is also going to serve as our binder. We don't use any breadcrumb or any...
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So we're going to let you work on that, and I know we're going to work on our quinoa as well in between this segment and the next segment, and kind of wrap it up and work with our salmon and the layers coming up in our next segment. Chef, thanks very much.
Thank you.
In the kitchen with Richie Cuco, Food and Beverage Director from Atlantic Shores Co-op. This morning we're making crab and salmon Napoleon with tarragon butter and black bean and corn quinoa. And I've got my gloves on. How's the quinoa coming first?
It's coming along great. It just it needs to simmer. It'll take about 15 more minutes.
Okay, so you had the oil, you toasted it, you put in...
I put in black beans, corn, red onions, green and red peppers.
And the liquid is?
It's a chicken broth.
Oh, okay, chicken broth. And then you're watching it really closely.
Yep.
How do you know when you're in trouble?
When it starts to smoke.
So you keep watching that while we work here. Maybe you can put one eyeball on this.
Sure.
This is the salmon, and you cut it really nicely.
Yeah, we cut it into 6-ounce portions. And then what we did was we cut it lengthwise, sliced it in half.
Like butterflying it?
Well, we went all the way through.
Okay.
And if you'd like to fill one of our portions with the crab meat, you're going to just grab one.
Lift it up?
Yep.
Like a sandwich?
Yep. And that's exactly it. It's like a sandwich. You're going to fill your bottom layer.
Now, am I making it like a circle or no? Just kind of.
Just fill the fish itself. You want to cover that piece of fish.
And this is what the Napoleon word describes? Like this is just the whole layer part?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we'll put that layer back on, and then we'll top it off with
more?
some more crab meat.
More crab meat. pretty decadent.
It is. It is very decadent, very rich.
Yep. And is this a meal that you make for guests at the Atlantic Shores?
Absolutely. We have featured it on our menu. In fact, we do have a menu that's going to be rolling out, a new menu for May, June, and we're planning on putting this back on the menu. It's very popular.
I bet it would be very popular. So once you do the layer, what do you do?
Pop it in the oven.
That's it. So let me finish this other one, right? Because
sure.
We slice this one in half. Now, can you talk about Atlantic Shores? Because it's not a typical restaurant like we normally have in the Hampton Roadshow kitchen.
No, Atlantic Shores is a co-op. It's a retirement community in Virginia Beach. We have 600 plus residents. We have multiple dining facilities on the property. But we also have a skilled nursing side as well. It's a beautiful property. It's gorgeous. We have an amazing staff, and
right. So what you're saying is, when this is on the menu, this is for guests who come to Atlantic
for our
Shores.
Residents and our residents' guests. Absolutely.
I kind of put a lot of crab meat. Is that okay?
That's fine. The more, the better.
That's what I say too. So this will then be popped into the oven.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it. All done. What kind of heat does it go on under?
350.
Okay. Very good. Well, we'll do that in a minute because I know we've got another sauce that we need to make.
Sure.
And this is for what?
This is going to top the salmon, and
I knew there was a sauce. There's always a sauce. So this is for the salmon dish, and
yes.
I'll come over here and stir the quinoa. Does it need to be stirred?
Sure.
Sure.
And on this butter sauce, what you want to do is you don't want to solidify the butter. If I could just reach over you.
And that means what?
You don't want to break it down. You still want it to stay
solid.
You want it to stay creamy. And you want to add all your ingredients in one shot. So
you have to be really quick.
Yeah. We're going to put some zested butter, some shallots.
Zested butter, shallots, okay.
Some diced tomatoes,
so do you know you're in trouble when the butter starts to burn? Is that the kind of thing?
Yeah.
So
some tarragon, fresh tarragon. Just a pinch of cayenne. Salt and pepper. We're just going to kind of work that all together. And again, we're looking for it to be creamy and not to break down and melt. And what I'll do is add a little heavy cream, and the heavy cream will help. It'll help thicken it up, and it'll also help coat your palate. So it really intensifies the flavors of the dish, of the sauce.
That's a nice sauce. And I mean, it's pretty versatile. You can probably use that with the fresh ingredients for a lot of
chicken, seafood. Yeah.
Cool. We're going to put everything together, talk more with Richie, Chef Richie, about Atlantic Shores in our next cooking segment. Carrie? In the kitchen with Richie Cuco, Food and Beverage Director from Atlantic Shores Co-op this morning. And we're making crab and salmon Napoleon with tarragon butter and black bean and corn quinoa. It is an exotic sounding dish, that's for sure. And even better is it's done. And I want to say risotto, but it's the quinoa and the same kind of process to make it. How long would you say it took you, like, constant watching over it?
15 to 20 minutes, really.
So devote the time, and then it pays off in the end.
Sure.
Did you add anything else, or?
I am going to finish it with a little bit of lime juice now that it's completely cooked, and that's just to give it a little zing, help complement the seafood.
Very nice. So here, this looks a little thicker than it did before. Did you add something to it, to our sauce that goes on top of the salmon?
It'll tighten up with the cream.
Okay. Oh, it was just the cream that did that? Very, very nice. And the salmon, is it done? It's in the oven right now, right?
We're done and actually ready to plate up.
Let's plate it up. Meanwhile, let's talk about Atlantic Shores Co-op. And I was asking you where it is located physically. It's out in Virginia Beach.
Atlantic Shores is located off of Damnick Road in Virginia Beach.
And it is it's a community for 55 and better. Correct?
Yes.
It seems to me maybe this may be a little bit rich, maybe for some diets, but first, how would you maybe lower the richness to kind of accommodate more diets? And it sounds like you also have different restaurants, so this can be on some menus and not on all of them.
But one of our trade secrets at Atlantic Shores is that we are unique, and we do understand. Excuse me. do understand the needs of our residents, and we certainly have residents with dietary needs.
Sure.
And when our wait staff are taking the orders of the residents, we'll tailor our dishes
Sure.
to those needs. We do have an in-house dietitian that is available to our residents. So she's able to work with our food and beverage department, make recommendations, or let us know about residents that may need some tweaking in their diets,
Right.
and when we're certainly able to and willing to accommodate.
Right, and you've got different restaurants, so maybe this is on the menu of one and not on the other two.
Right, we do have 3
like that.
restaurants, and what we try to really strive to do is make sure that nothing is replicated, so that there is always a good selection, but also a nutritious selection. We do try to use the freshest products,
And here's the result.
yeah, and here's the result.
So here is our Napoleon, our Salmon Napoleon with the layers.
Right.
That looks absolutely delicious. And then
Thank
you
you.
put the cream sauce on top. For folks at home who decide to make this dish, first of all, the ingredients list and the how-tos will be on at thehamptonroadshow.com after the show moves off the air. But for those folks who maybe want to make the dish at home and maybe want to make it less rich, would you say it's just taking away the sauce?
I would definitely
Or
take away.
is there a way to maybe dilute the sauce to kind of get a little bit of the taste? I don't know. Just trying to help some folks out, just in case.
It has heavy cream and butter in it, so, I would definitely eliminate it altogether.
Use another kind of sauce instead. Okay, that's fair. And then you've got the quinoa that goes on the side. It looks really, really good. Okay. Well, we are definitely going to finish this up, separate it so that everyone can have a taste, and we'll try.